Yeah.
My favorite.
It's Judd's Hockey Show.
A lot to get into on today's big episode of Judd's Hockey Show. Judd, Jessi Pierce covers the Wild for NHL.com Bar Down Beauties podcast. If you're missing that, you shouldn't be. It's on our network now. It's part of the Score North family. Great Wild discussion. They actually have guests on a lot, which we do not do very much here. So check that out. And AJ Fredrickson, of course, is always co-hosting and producing as well.
They're much more inviting than we are. Clearly.
Yeah, that's
try.
True. Well, I feel like they've got takes, but they don't have takes like we have takes on this show. And there's
We're
no time
nicer. We're quieter on some of those takes, I think, maybe.
Exactly. So I feel like our need to give you our takes takes precedent over our guest list, which again we once in a while have on, but not very much. Before we get to the heart of the episode, which is the Wild and their fantastic November and who is playing and who's not, I want to talk to you about Mystic Lake and especially the Hop House, the new sports bar Hop House in Mystic Lake, which is absolutely fantastic. For sports, it's great. You got every TV turned to sports, no question about it. There's not some rerun of the Brady Bunch on one and then a game on one. No, there's games on constantly. And also, live music at Hop House every Friday and Saturday night starting at 10 p.m. Amazing bands, great drinks, and no cover. It's the perfect late night vibe as well at Mystic Lake, and a Thanksgiving Day special as well. In fact, spend Wednesday there at their hotel into Thursday and take care of your Thanksgiving. No dishes, no muss, no fuss. All right, let's get to it. The Wild, 3-6-3 in October, 9 points. It looked all bad. It looked terrible. In November thus far, going into tonight's game against Carolina, 6-1-1, 13 points. That's tied for the most wins, points, and fewest goals against in the National Hockey League this month. So it seems all rosy. And then I send both of you a note yesterday, prep note, and Jessi sends a note back saying, oh, yeah, we might want to talk about who's playing and who's not and the line combinations. So, Jessi, you start us off. Who's playing, who's not, and how does this affect how you feel about a Hurricanes Wild game tonight?
Guys, we're going to see Danila Yurov, first line center, baby. He is getting his opportunity. Ryan Hartman's hurt. Vladimir Tarasenko hurt. Marco Rossi hurt. Hartman and Rossi, the update as of yesterday from John Hynes, week to week. Lower bodies. It sounds like Hartman is less severe. Obviously, it feels like it's just a hurtful Charlie horse, so bruise on the leg, long way from the heart, but whatever. He's going to mend that. That's fine.
Now watch out, man.
Tarasenko did practice, left early as planned, so he is day to day. We'll see. But up the middle, obviously, without Hartman and Rossi, Yurov gets elevated. I'm excited to see that. I chatted with Yurov after practice yesterday, and I think it'll be interesting because he had mentioned he was forming what he thought was really good chemistry with Foligno and Trennan. He said he was really starting to like the way, and I agree, that line in general was starting to do a lot of things, mostly Foligno with the physicality, Trennan getting down there in the gritty areas, and Yurov contributing at center there. So it'll be curious. I'm with Mats and Kirill and how quick they move the puck, not to say that Danila can't. He's still young. He's still a rookie. He's still getting comfortable. So I wonder how long that will last, but I'm excited they're going to at least try it because we have been preaching for a situation like this to just try it. The other curious position, because you're down so many centermen, you're still without Nico Sturm, who also practiced yesterday, is on track to return in a week or two. Yakov Trenin, who apparently played a little bit of center in Colorado, never when he was with John Hynes in Nashville, is going to try center. I chatted with a well-known former Wild player yesterday about it, and all he goes was, "Ee." And so I think that's kind of how we're all feeling. He'll be the third line center. I think it'll be interesting. I also spoke with Rod Brindamore of the Hurricanes yesterday after their practice, and they're more focused on Kirill than anything. That's obviously just their one thing. He said, we understand that when there are teams that have superstars like him, we can't do much, but that's really their only concern, which makes sense. I don't blame him. So the lineup changes don't really move the needle for opposition, I don't think. But from our perspective, from the line heathens, I'm excited to see some of those shakeups and mix-ins that you can find offensively anyway.
Objectively, this is a worse team, like clearly, but
Yes, it is.
But what I
Yes.
will say is it's really unfortunate that this is how we're getting it, but I'm very thankful we're at least going to see Danila Yurov on the top line. And Jessi is, I mean, as usual, spot on correct with the take of the mind. Is he going to be able to keep up with what Kirill and Zuccarello are doing? That being said, at times, I'm not sure their main center, Marco Rossi, was able to keep up. So it's not like it's going to be a massive change of pace. And maybe does he get 1-2 games, or is he going to get a week and a half to maybe build some chemistry? Because chemistry is very crucial going back to Miracles, the cone heads. They just kind of know bang, bang, pass, shoot, score. Trennan at center on the third line is interesting. That line is going to have to be managed heavily by John Hines. Very situational, but I'll go an open-minded. I'm not going to immediately say that I don't think Yakov Trennan has what it takes to be a center in the NHL. We'll see.
Couldn't someone else be called up?
They have Ben
Hunter
Jones and Tyler Pitlick both recalled. So your lines as they sit as of practice yesterday and likely heading into the game tonight are going to start Kaprizov, Yurov, Zuccarello, Johansson, Erikssonek, Boldy, Polino, Trennan, Hinostroza, Ogren, Jones, and Pitlick. I don't know if I had, and you've got Bogo and Rossi and Sturm are on IR. You have your defensive pairings are Brodin, Faber, Middleton, Spurgeon, Bouillon, Hunt, and then Bogo practiced yesterday too, with Juracek as the extra. I don't know if you can. What's that roster total at then? Because you should be able to. You're right, but maybe they'll do it before they hit the road too. Maybe they're just going to try to eke this one out against Carolina, and then they've got a 3-game road trip, but they come back in between before they go to Chicago next week.
It feels like the obvious one for them to do, given the feeling towards him, would be send down Liam Ogren. You move Trennan back to the left wing on that fourth line, and then you call up Hunter Haight, who I think looked all right and was getting some notable chances in the preseason. He's a center. You throw him on the fourth line. For the time being, you bump Ben Jones up until somebody can come back and be healthy. But because from what it sounds like, too, Nico Sturm was skating yesterday.
Yep. So Nico Sturm, Zach Bogosian, both skated with the team. They're projected to come back probably around the same time. So Hines says before December, possibly by that Colorado game after Thanksgiving. They've skated the full time, so they looked good. They looked all right. I think Bogosian's a little bit closer even than Sturm. I haven't seen Sturm out there as much. I know Bogo's been on his own for a bit here, but yeah, they both were skating in practice in full yesterday.
Does Bogo, in your guys' mind, immediately slot back into this?
So all of this being said, this team also has...
No, is my internet bad?
No, I caught you. I don't think Judd's internet's bad.
Oh, I think age... Is it? I can't tell.
You're good now.
Wait,
for a minute,
no,
there was a lag, and AJ had asked a question,
second.
and you just completely ignored him.
AJ. Oh, okay. That's my bad then. Sorry about that, H. No. That's my. There's gremlins today. I don't know what's up. AJ, I apologize because I didn't hear you talk at all. So it might be me. Anyway, yes, go, Jessi. You answer AJ's question. Sorry.
I will. I mean, probably, right? And that's right now with the way that Juracek is performing. However, Damon Hunt has earned his keep too. I think that's the biggest question. Juracek, no problem. He's obviously on the outs anyway, but they love him. They want him back. And unfortunately, I think Damon Hunt's the odd man out in that situation.
Am I good now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, all set.
I seriously, there was a weird lag here. I apologize to the audience, but there was some type of lag here. Okay, so with all of this being said, and certainly it's suboptimal, I think, as the kids say right now. This team has gone from 3-6-3 in October, which looked really, really bad, to 6-1-1, as I said at the top of the show, in November, which is very, very good. Jessi, how confident are you? If we were to pick right now the real Wild, who is the real Wild? One, do you think you know? And two, if you say this version, how confident are you that you're going to be right about that?
They're a defensive team. I think their defense finally figured it out. We talked about that was my biggest gripe in October. It was they were so leaky, and you had uncharacteristic play from Spurgeon, Broads, and Middleton and Faber, everybody, literally everybody. And as much as they want to try to say, oh, we're an offensive, fast-paced north-south team, they're not. They're very defensively stingy. And granted, that's probably recency bias. You look at the past 4 or 5 games where they're limiting teams, which is great. I mean, you're going to win games any way you can, and that's how they're going to have to do it. I think they're getting good goaltending, and we'll talk about that later. But defensively, I think they figured out the structure to really slow down those quick teams, the San Jose's, the even the Anaheims, right? Leo Carlson, to be able to effectively shut him down. That's a testament to some of their offensive pairings too. But I think that's who they are. It's going to be a boring hockey team. It's fine. They don't have the offense. They don't have the pieces to go score 5 goals a night.
And Eriksson Ek did not get moved up because of the fact that line has been so effective against other teams' top players, correct?
I mean, we didn't ask that directly, but that's the answer, right? That's what he'll tell us, so for sure.
Age, how confident are you that this is the Wild? That this team?
In terms of their identity, I think this is exactly who they are. In terms of like sustainable success, I'm not sure, because they clearly adjusted some things and changed their style a little bit, going from, a team that maybe wants to be on their toes, trying to drive offense, do some flashy things. But when it comes to maybe locking down things consistently, they're doing that much better now. And they're realizing, okay, well, now we need to rely on our defense to drive guys out wide, to create low angle chances. Our goaltending has been real solid. And that's, I think, the big thing is, if they can stay consistent in goal, they'll probably stay consistent in earning points. I don't think they're 6-1-1 good. Like, they're not going to win 6 out of their next 8 every single time, but I think they're probably going to win middle of the road more often than not. So you're looking between October and November, probably closer swinging in November in my mind. Not by a huge margin, but they clearly are a better hockey team than what we saw in October, at least to me.
The goaltending, Jessi, seems, as you broached before, that seems to me to be the key too. And so it's funny to talk about, is there controversy now? Is Wallstedt going to unseat Gus? But this is one where I agree with John Hines, which is he's like, I'll take this. Yeah. So I do think that it would be a sweet spot not to put the full load on any one guy's plate. And the fact that Wallstedt has looked so good is encouraging. One, because he's a first-round draft pick, so you want to see him look like a first-round draft pick. But for the now, just as importantly, probably, I don't know that Gus is made to be a number one, like a true one, where he just plays a ton. Mm-hmm. I think a goaltending controversy is the best thing, because a 1A, 1B for this team, I think actually works out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, a credit to Jesper, right? He was down. He talked about it at length with us numerous times, how dark last year was for him, how bad it was. And I asked him after the Anaheim game, he kept trying to push it off on the team. It's a team win, which is great. And I said, no, but you personally, how important has your play been? And he goes, it's certainly a lot more fun to play hockey again, and how different it is from last year for him. So I think that's truly helped him. And that pushes Gus. Gus has talked very candidly about how he uses Jesper to be that competition, and Gus did his due diligence last year with Wallstedt. But I think you're absolutely right. And I will scream it from the rooftops. You can have 2 good goaltenders in this league. You don't need to have just one hot goalie. And actually use Connor Hellebuyck as kind of your cautionary tale a little bit, because when you're playing as many games as Connor Hellebuyck does and then get to the playoffs, some reason that just kind of disappears. And I think maybe that's a reason why, is because he's just so burnt out from carrying every single game throughout the season. So it's a really good position to be in for the Minnesota Wild. And I think Yakov Trenin even joked that the team needs to tighten up a little bit more, because they have so much faith in their goaltending, particularly Jesper Wallstedt, that they need to not allow as many rushes. It was just him being funny in a very straight.
They can't tighten up.
Russian
I was going to say they can't tighten up much more. Like it's great, but this is boring enough. I don't need to see tighter than this. I think that I think that this is actually absolutely fine if they continue just to play like this defensively.
Yeah, this is going to be. I mean, that sets them up for a lot of success if they can just play like this, because it's not like they they're not letting up major gaffes consistently, I think, anymore. Where you saw that in October, like, sure, you're going to have a couple times where you play a really good period, but then for some reason, one minor switch of what the system is for the opposing team, they come out of the locker room and it looks like they're just dancing in the offensive zone, and it's big chance after big chance, and then it's, Gustavsson has to stand on his head just to try to keep this team in the game. But this tandem has been working really well, and it's setting them up for success. And I mean, how many times in past years for Wild teams have we seen maybe the offense is like clicking enough and you're like, wow, they're generating some offense, but they just can't get a save defensively. I mean, it comes to mind, and I don't want to just say this sounds bad because I'm going to call them out, but like the Devin Dubnyk days of the Minnesota Wild, it was like a shot from the kind of along the wall outside the circle, and it's like, that might go in. Like they might have earned a 2-0 lead, and all of a sudden, boop, in a blink of an eye, 2 shots on goal, and things are done. So the goaltending has been very, very refreshing, and makes me part of why it's like the foundation of why I believe this team probably is taking a big step in the right direction.
And you're getting Wallstedt against the Carolina Hurricanes tonight too, which I think says a lot for him, right? Yeah, I know. I actually
8:45 start, perhaps 9, perhaps 9:15, perhaps we'll get done by midnight. Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, but he's earned it. He's absolutely earned it. Like, he's so locked in and he's so dialed in, and again, that's not to discourage Filip Gustavsson. It's a good problem to have.
Right. It only becomes, and I wouldn't call it a problem for the team. I guess it only becomes a problem for the individuals involved here in the playoffs. Because like you should ride. Dino didn't sometimes, but you should ride the hot hand. So and I could see feelings being hurt then. But the season is so long, and it's 2025. I mean, it's not the old days where it's like I had 75 starts. So yeah, I think that this is ideal. And it's funny. Why do we think, Jessi? Why do you think it took them a month to lock in too? Like it's weird because the style that they're playing now is not like, whew, you got to learn that style. That's an intricate style. It's very sound, but it's very, like, to me, simplified. What's your theory? Because you cover training camp. It seems weird that it took them a month to sort of like find an identity that everyone could have told them, hey, you're really not that good, so just play like this.
Exactly. I think they were too comfortable. I think they were too comfortable, right? Like, they were like, oh, yeah, no, we're pretty good. Well, you guys are under it. Like, I don't think they felt like true underdogs. I think they thought that they could coast in, and I think they forgot that there are other teams in the NHL who are valiantly trying to not be bottom dwellers, right? Like, they are trying so hard to not be as bad as they were last year and succeeding. And I think Minnesota just puts it in neutral sometimes and is like, yep, nope, this will fine. And then in order to get out of it, then you see in October, toward the end of October, they're trying too hard to get out of it. So then they're making those mistakes by being too pretty. And now it's like, it's simple hockey and it's boring hockey. And yes, you have a guy like Kirill, so you want to see the masterful goal scoring. You want to see Boldy do it. And once in a while you're going to. I think it was just hard for them to accept, because today's NHL in general, the goals are sexy, right? You want to see the great highlight reels. Cool. And I think every team wants to be able to contribute to that. So in my mind, long gone are the Jacques Lemaire days that we're now having. I mean, Jacques would love this team. This is his team, right? Like a 2-0 win. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Like, that's the way he goes. That's not the way the NHL likes to have it anymore. So I think it was probably a little bit of, all right, we're going to be this team, but we're locked in. We're going to do it this way.
I think part of it too is, if I was in the shoes of John Hines, I would tell my players, do not watch 97 or 12. Don't watch them, because I don't want you to think you're anywhere near them. Like, I literally want you to not watch them, because it does. And this is where I'm curious to see tonight with Yurov centering the top line, which probably will be a brief thing. But anyway, where I'm curious to see too, though, is not just can he keep up with Kaprizov and Zuccarello, but at times does Zuccarello try to simplify things a bit for the sake of both guys, because we've seen some, the Islanders setup was gorgeous. That game on the island was gorgeous. We've certainly seen there's been a chemistry at times, but I also watch that line at times and think, oh my God, Zuccarello's trying, or they're both trying so hard to make the prettiest play possible. And just I said this to Age. We did a show on Monday after the Golden Knights game Sunday. I said one of my favorite goals of the season from this team was the Trennan goal on Sunday, because he just threw the puck at the net. Like that's what because you're right. One of the things that drives me the craziest about the game right now is the amount of guys trying to score sexy goals. And it's like, okay, I could probably list for you 15 players that can do that. Like on a regular basis. They deserve that. But the rest of you, just throw the puck at the net. Right. And you see these like, it feels at times, and correct me if you guys disagree with me, it feels like times where we're now in an era where guys are trying to make passing plays like they're on the power play when they're 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Like bang, 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 boom, boom. And it's like, what are you doing? Get the puck to the net, create a rebound, and try and knock the puck in. You're not that good. So I'm curious with Yurov age centering that line, if we do get at least a little simplification so it doesn't look like 36 and 97 are playing keep away from their center, when the center, in my opinion, could probably help.
I'm excited to see how he moves into there, because like there's the adaptable chameleon type of situation where he steps in and he caters to their game. And frankly, probably that's what's going to happen. Yeah. But in a sense where he maybe backs off a little bit. He kind of lets them do their thing, and he's like the complimentary sauce. But he could bring the groove of the fourth line that he's been now saying that he's kind of established, that chemistry. Marcus Foligno, hardworking. I'm going to get deep into the zone, try to dump and chase, do all the gritty things, and maybe that rubs off on that top line, and they kind of get this weird mix. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do want him to be a little selfish at times on this top line, because you're going to now play with the best players on the team, essentially, and they're going to set you up. Kirill is obviously an amazing scorer, but he's also a very, very good passer. Matt Zuccarello is an incredible playmaker as well. They're going to get you in situations where you should just pull the trigger. I don't want him to have that, the pass happy twin gene of, I got to dish it off just for one more thing. Shoot the puck. If you get into a spot where there's maybe one guy in front of you, or you have an eye line to the goal, shoot the puck on net. Because if I see him have a golden opportunity, he's like, let's just send it off over here.
From the slot.
Then I'm going to say this opportunity is wasted. Go back to the fourth line. But I'm excited.
How long do we think he sticks? Like in the game? I don't know that the game finishes with him on that first line for sure, but I think it's maybe only a couple shifts, right?
Yeah, well, so who is Eriksson going to be matched up against that line tonight? Who is Carolina's top line? I mean, they certainly have talent.
They have all four lines are talented, I think, at this point. Right?
Their top line is Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis. And then if for some reason they're able to lock that down, they're going to have to worry about the Ehlers, Stankoven, Jackson Blake line.
Because I think Jesse's probably right. I think at some point in time, Eriksson starts to take shifts there. I mean, that's just a guess, because Hines. This feels to me like Hines is going to be like the father of a kid who he is taking out to drive for the first time.
Yeah,
and he's going to be cringing and like grabbing the ceiling of the car the entire time until he can't stand it, and then he's just going to have the kid pull the car over and take over and drive it home. So I'm sort of with Jessi. I sort of feel like that this is going to be Yurov starts with the first line. Eriksson gets a bunch of shifts with that line eventually at some point.
I mean, Yurov, it was hard in chatting with him because his English, and God bless him, we're like, we could talk to you in Russian and translate. Like, if you would rather that. And he's like, nope, I only want to do English. And I adore that about him.
Good for him.
But even when it was really, really good. Like he was,
that's
he said it with like a half smile because his little stitches, and he's like, it hurts when I smile. Like he's got that whole thing going on. But anyway, he said, that's my job. I'm a hockey player to get hurt like that. But even when asking, like, how do you change? And you can tell it was very much, coaches told me that this is kind of what I have to do. And it was very like kind of, coach said this, and I will play, and I will, do good in the D zone and the O zone, and I will win the battles. And it was very direct and, to what he understood. And to that effort, Hines had said the same thing. Like he finds Yurov is getting more comfortable, but he didn't feel the full 100% backing of confidence in this. Like, yep, we're doing this because we really want to do it. We're doing this because we have to do it. Just kind of what you're getting from John Hines right now.
Yeah. Is it being too dumb optimistic of me to think that there's a chance, and then this is a very slight chance, probably not even close to happening, but there's a chance that they drop the puck tonight, and that combination, just because of the Russian chemistry, he's kind of been his mentor, and for some reason they just click, and it looks like decent hockey, and he stays on that top line the entire night, and Eriksson Ek doesn't have to play 29 minutes, of game time.
No, that's not gonna happen. That's optimism. Because we've all
2%.
talked about it, right? Like in our head, we're like, oh yeah, the Russians
Sliver,
put them
that's like that'd be
together.
cool.
But then you have Mats, who's kind of mixing it all up over here with his connection, and he's like, well, no, he's mine. It's like an episode of Love Is Blind, and it's like, well, I want him. No, I want him. Well, he said no to me forever. I don't know. See, I'm not as good at the analogies as you boys are. You guys are really good at that.
Oh no, that's pretty good.
That was good.
I was laughing because it's
bombshell in the villa.
exactly right. You get away, Danila. You get away from my guy Kirill. Stay away. All right, one more thing to talk about. But before I do that, let's talk about SeatGeek, because I'm on the app right now, the SeatGeek app, folks. And I'm going to tell you, if you are looking for tickets to a game in town, concerts, comedies, whatever you're trying to find, SeatGeek is going to have it, which is what makes their app so fantastic. And one of the most popular. So if you want to go to an event, SeatGeek is the place to go. Just download that app on your phone. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. It's this simple, too, for a discount. If you're watching this, you can see this right now. Use the code JUDD10, JUDD10, for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code JUDD10, and enjoy the next event knowing that you have great seats. So my last thing is this. Special teams, okay? So special teams in the month, I went back and checked this, in the month of November so far. So as I said, 6-1-1 in that time. The penalty kill, especially. The penalty kill is operating in the last 8 games. They have given up 3 goals on 21 opportunities. That's an 87.5 kill rate. And although the Wild, because of their bad start, remains 28th at 71.1%, or 71.7%, the Wild 87.5. So their penalty kill in the last 8 games, you guys, would be top 3 in the entire league, that percentage right now. So I will say this, for the first time in, would this be 2 years, 2.5 years? It feels like it's been a long time. For the first time in a long time, it appears the Wild, and this is partially due to goaltending being so good, I get that, finally has a penalty kill structure that is seeming to work, which, by the way, don't sleep on that, Jessi. That would be huge for a team that's been a mess on the PK since the Dallas debacle playoff series a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but you said what I wanted to say. Like, your best penalty killer is a good goalie, and there it is. Like, that's my explanation. I mean, they are, again, just in general, they have a very defense first mindset these days, and that's going to come in handy on the penalty kill. I also always look at, sometimes I think power plays get really shaky and weak. Like Vegas and Anaheim's power plays just didn't look as strong as they probably should, which is crazy, right? Like, I'm not trying to take away how well the Wild's PK has been, but also I wasn't overly impressed with the shots that they were able to generate. But that's a testament to the PK being able to keep them to the outside and being able to limit those too. So it comes with just that defense first mentality. But honestly, I'm gonna go with my goalies. Like, it's the goalies, man. Like, those shots that get through, they make the save. Boom, your PK skyrockets.
They've been keeping their shape really well
bash
too.
all the time.
I bash goal, but this year I've been so good. We've been thick because the goalies deserve my praise.
I mean, they do. They they deserve a massive. Like, I think Judd's having the internet stuff again here, but they deserve a massive standing ovation. They've been keeping their shape really well, and I think they're pressuring the puck carrier a decent amount. Like, they're making teams want to control the puck a little bit more and kind of slow things down. And that's, I think, been a trend across the league, rather than the high octane, fast paced power play. Let's whip it around the zone. And they're pressuring the puck carrier who's holding onto it, and it's forcing teams to make mistakes. And so the Wild are doing a really good job of, when they create a loose puck, they're not getting it out of the zone. And it's I would love to see a stat on this, but like, failed clearance, like percentages, I feel like they would be almost assuredly getting it out 9 out of 10 times, which does wonders on a 2-minute stint.
Mm-hmm. Am I back?
Yes.
Okay. I am back. We are going to wrap up this technically challenge laden show. It's all my fault. I have no idea. I'm going to have to reboot my computer before I do more shows, but we are done. I apologize. This is all my fault. Jessi, AJ, Judd's Hockey Show. Hopefully the gremlins go away by the next time we do this show. Bye.